were like, I mean, my thought is, if someone was up a pound, they might not be recovering because maybe their carbs weren't high enough. But if they were too high, would they go up a pound on the scale necessarily? Like they'd be holding more water, or they'd be holding like something like, you know what I mean? Like would they be spilling over in that sense to gain a pound or two?
Maybe, but it would also depend where they're coming from that week before. Like if they're coming out of another phase and maybe they were a little bit depleted going into it, and they gain a pound, it's like, well, that could just be you're storing more glycogen and water. That's a good thing. We want that. That's going to help you in your performance in the training session.
Sure.
But if it's the other way, is like their performance starts going down and they're gaining a little pound, it's like, well, maybe this is like, it's a little just too much volume for you, or you're going to failure too much, or creating too much inflammation, that you're starting to retain more water from the training system. Then it may not be necessarily a macro issue, it might be a training thing. So the training needs to be adjusted because for where they are now, it's too inflammatory.
Right. My goal was, like, where my question comes from is, most people now fear carbs, right? They're just scared of carbs. So like to try to get them to understand, like, hey, like really trying to assess like what is, if they were too high, we would see